Don't stay for them kids. I know there's a lot of people out there right now, and you're staying for no other reason than the fact that you have children together. Children are no reason to suffer. You bet not stay for them kids. Because what's going to happen is you're going to dedicate another 10 to 15 years to that man.
What's going to happen is you're going to raise your kids and they're going to turn out to be better people. But listen to him if you agree with him, though. You listen to him if you agree with him. For me, this will be one of the females that y'all be talking about that will sit there and not be okay with their very choice. You feel me? Because that's what dudes be like. They don't matter. Y'all know them. Y'all see them all the time. The Karens of the world always got husbands. Always got goddamn husbands. So somebody forgave their bad behavior and said, okay, I love you. Not to say that they even have to be completely that bad. But he is saying run when nobody is perfect. So after you make your choices, it's okay for you to run from them. All right, cool. But the funny part about this whole story is he is only talking to women because nobody will sit here and say, if you're talking about don't stay for the kids, you're talking about men too. Nobody's going to tell him he's talking about men too. They're going to think he's just talking about women because he's wording it that way. But don't let me shed some light on it. I'm just...
to that relationship or to that woman that you don't want to be with, and then you'll be out of touch. You'll be out of decent dating pools. Don't stay for them kids. Them kids are going to grow up and live lives of their own. Don't stay for them kids. Them kids might grow up and not even like you the way that you fighting for them. Them kids might not fight for you. Don't you stay for them kids. Never let that reason that you be in that relationship is for them children, because they will grow.
And just listen to it. Because if you did no wrong, even if you did wrong and you had changed your ways, right? Whenever the kids figure it out, even when they hate you, whenever the kids figure it out, they will know the truth. And most people are okay with that. Okay with them coming to find them later on and then explaining to them such and such, such and such, such and such. You feel me? But I don't know. He did say a dude earlier, but I don't think he's talking to dudes. I think he's talking to women and trying to use the dude terminology. But, once you wording it in the way that you're wording it to get to the demographic that you want to get to, you're going to do such a thing.
Grow up. They will grow up. And they will learn that all relationships are not forever. Don't you stay for them kids. And I know there's so many of y'all right now. You're staying because of the time that you have invested. You're staying because of the kids you have invested. But you're not happy. And that's what life is about. Don't you stay for them kids. I'm gone. Don't stay for them kids.
I can agree. I definitely could disagree. Because at the end of the day, once you start saying this, there are people who actually have a good enough relationship that's not understanding the route they're in. You feel me? That will sit there and just throw some shit away that don't need to be thrown away because you're not explaining it. So I would say be sure that what you're throwing away is something that should be thrown away. Because sometimes the women that he's talking to, because he's not talking to men. He can say he be talking, but he's not talking to men because men fight it out. You're not going to be talking to the ones who stay without all the fucking crazy stories you hear about guys being fucking 50 years in marriages and finding out that none of the kids that he had was his. Like all the crazy stories, you're telling them not to stay. Yes, I know that shit is there. But there are other stories that the person who she did right. There's a lot of them. So once you start telling this type of information, for me personally as a person, I would like to hear all of it. I wouldn't want to hear a part of it. I want to hear how you justified it, say, to the ones who it don't apply to. Because at the end of the day, if you're not making sure that you even fucking with a person on that level, why are you getting so far as to have a kid with them? It's beyond me. I can't speak to that. I've done that. I've definitely done it, but I can't speak to it. Only thing that I keep coming out with, well, we was young. And I'm not young anymore, so I'm speaking as the older person. So I can't speak to the youngins for making mistakes. Even your mistakes was 4, 5, 6, still mistakes. But still at the same time, after a first mistake, fool me once type shit. But let's go to the next one. This one was a prerequisite to the second one. The second one will show not his type of character, because I don't know his character as a man type shit. He could just be sitting here doing the whatever. But the type of person he portrays will have people doing shit like this and going along with the plan, even though it was her plan. Like the whole part of the story, it was her plan. But check it out. It's like he manipulated her into doing something she don't like, and then she manipulated him into doing something he's gonna regret. But this shit was gold. It was.
It has been more than 1 year since a Romeoville family of 4 and their dogs were gunned down in their own home. Now, the murder suspect fled to Oklahoma with his fiancée, where they died in a murder-suicide following a fiery police chase.
It's been about a year. The police department in Romeoville just wrapped up their investigation and found shocking new details about what they say happened inside that home last September and who they say is responsible and why.
It started here on this Romeoville block September 17th, 2023, as a wellness check. Alberto Rolón, Zoraida Bartolome, their 2 boys, ages 7 and 9, lived in the home. Alberto didn't show up for work, and Zoraida's family couldn't reach her or the kids. New video from Romeoville police shows the moment they responded.
Oh, God. Dogs are dead. 2 dead dogs.
Officers found a crack in the window and overturned tables inside, the first sign something was awry. Inside, Zoraida, Alberto, their 2 kids and 3 dogs shot and killed by a combined 20 bullets. Police reports show investigators used iPass video, Ring doorbells, cell phone towers, and flock cameras to find a man named Nathaniel Huey Jr. Documents show he was Zoraida's co-worker, claiming they were having an affair, and say his partner, Ermelinda Palomo, knew about it. As police were looking into Huey as a suspect, he and Palomo fled. Her family initially filed an endangered missing person report, believing he took her and that she was in trouble. That brings the story 600 miles away to Catoosa, Oklahoma. Footage obtained by NBC5 shows Huey and Palomo days after the murder together, walking into a Walmart side by side. Inside the store, surveillance shows them shopping. They leave the store together, smiling. A short time later, a flock camera system in the parking lot picked up their license plate, and as they got into their vehicle to take off, Catoosa police squad cars were right behind them. The chase ended in a fiery crash.
Get out of the car!
Body cam footage shows the vehicle in flames. Police say Huey shot Palomo and then himself inside.
Armed and dangerous murder suspect. Out of where? Illinois, I think.
An Oklahoma officer on scene tries to piece together who they were.
She's the missing.
Now you catch that, right? You catch that, right? I'ma let it continue, but look how the story, because I believe this is the one. Look how the story just drastically changes with some investigation and some logic and intuition, but we gonna let it slide.
Missing person endangered. He's the murder suspect.
Another isn't so sure.
It looked like she was being held against the will.
A new report from Romeoville police obtained by NBC5 News paints a much different picture. So who was Ermelinda Palomo, and why was that Romeoville family of 4 killed on that tragic night?
Last September, Palomo's family attorney said this.
The family wants to make it clear that Ermelinda had nothing to do with the murders in Romeoville.
But an investigation revealed a year of manipulation and deceit. Police say Palomo was aware of the affair Nathaniel was having with Zoraida. They say investigators analyzed iCloud backup records and found Palomo created multiple fake online profiles and phone numbers to communicate with Huey. He thought he was talking to members of a Mexican cartel that had ties to Palomo. Police say Huey didn't know those fake accounts detailed a virtual world Ermelinda created. One account persuaded Huey he was a cartel hitman. Over the year, the messages escalated until one day the account told Huey he needed to kill Zoraida and her family. So Huey, believing he was now a part of this dangerous cartel, carried out the murders while police say Palomo was in the car outside waiting. You
see how it worked, right? You see how it worked? he manipulated her to be okay with the situation, but she really didn't get manipulated in a sense. She just went along with it, and then she turned around and manipulated him to do the thing that I don't know, because it'd be weird. How the fuck you get talked into some shit like that? Like how do you I don't care if it's online, but how do you as a man get talked into some shit like that? Like, that's crazy behavior. It seemed weak-willed to me, but I can't say what is strong and what is weak, because I just know I wouldn't do no shit like that. Ain't nobody on this planet can talk me into doing to something that I am not gonna do on my own will.
The report says Huey admitted to committing the murders to a police informant because people were after him. The officer's report says there's no reason to believe Huey ever knew she was the one behind the accounts, and he likely died in Oklahoma without ever knowing that truth. Romeoville's police chief says nothing can...
That boy thought he was one of the top shots at them. No, you wasn't. You got played. And then she didn't think it was going to go this way, so I'm pretty sure it's going to sound fucked up. But sometimes it needs to be said. I'm pretty sure in the last moment she was saying, yo, we could get out of this, we could get out of this. But the whole time it was just for her to get out of it. Because if you listen to it, her plan, because remember they said she got by him. So her plan was to get out of this scot-free and just pin it all on him. All of it. Like he did it by himself without no recollections. The only way they would have figured out is when they checked the text message, right? And you see how long this is a year later. You see how long it took to even piece all of that together. And that's how logic works. But I'm going to give y'all these two.